Good evening, the evening news. Babatunde Bonachito is my name. Vice President Jemio Shibaju says it is possible for Nigeria to conquer and ethnic and religious prejudices are there crucial issues in nation building. Professor Oshimaju Mary's submission at the maiden edition of Policy Making and Good Governance Lecture series at the National Institute of Public Policy and Strategic Studies, Jos. The title of the lecture was Creating a Homeland for All, Nation Building in Diverse Democracy. The Vice President, who was guest lecturer, said no Nigerian should be discriminated against on the basis of his or her tribal religion. He condemned the weaponization of ethnic or religious biases for political purposes, noting that democracy and democratic competition was defined by the societal socio-cultural cleavages. According to him, social integration is one of the highest ideals of Nigeria's constitution, which guarantees citizens the right to traverse the length and breadth of the country without hindrances. The federal government has approved the release of 45.3 billion naira reimbursement to states and FCT for the implementation of Nigeria COVID-19 National Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program. NG Cares Program is a World Bank state support operation implemented in all 36 states and FCT, aiming at expanding access to livelihood support and food security services and grant for poor and vulnerable households and firms. It is a program for results, and therefore reimbursement is based on results achieved. The National Coordinator of NG Cares Program, Dr. Abdul Karim Obaje, who announced the disbursement in Abuja, said the funds disbursed were based on results each state and FCT earned after a rigorous result verification exercise conducted by an independent consultant. To facilitate the smooth takeoff of the program, the federal government disbursed a one-off recovery advancement of 5.3 billion naira to all 36 states and FCT in March 2022, and in less than 1 year, state and FCT have produced results valued at 77.2 billion naira, impacting over 2 million direct beneficiaries. He mentioned that the result earned by the state and FCT shows significant progress towards achieving the set objectives and targets of the NG Care program. Barring any last-minute change of plans, the federal government will begin payment of the planned increase in civil servants' pay by the end of this month. President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to give his final rations for disbursement any moment now. If the proposal is safe through, it means the increase will be coming about 2 months to the June date proposed for the removal of petroleum subsidy. Officials of the federal government told newsmen that the first pay increase targets consequential allowances will lead to a 40% rise in the current pay of federal government workers. The Director of Press and Public Relations Ministry of Labor and Employment, Olajide Oshodun, revealed that the federal government might begin the payment of the 40% pay rise at the end of this month, adding that the 3-month arrears of January, February and March will be paid at a later date. Oshodun, however, said he could not confirm if the proposal of the government committee saddled with the task had been finally approved by the president. Nigerian government have been enjoined to emulate the Islamic countries whose government take charge of all human needs that ensure the basic necessity of life to the people. A Muslim scholar, Dr. Abdulhamid Abdulwasi, who dropped the hint shortly after featuring on an Osbc TV current affairs program, added that if the people enjoy basic facilities, the seeking for greener pastures will be reduced. He speaks.
All the aspects of their lives are being correctly controlled by the government. So, government, no country where corruption is not. So there's corruption everywhere, but it is minimal in this country. So They give what masses need. They give it to them. The good road, good health, as in health facility, healthcare facility, good road, electricity, all those masses, they have it. So when they have when masses have what they need, they don't bother the government with whatever, any other thing that they are doing at their own end. So instead of people moving out of the country, people will prefer to stay in the country when the country is okay.
Dr. Abdul-Wasi also encouraged Muslims to celebrate Eid al-Fitr with moderation, charging to rich people to extend their hands of fellowship to the needy beyond the holy month of Ramadan.
If to the poor, I think on that day, a few days to the Eid, and it ends on the day of the Eid. So it is very important to do that, because all Muslims, we use, they call it sa'a, that's what the Prophet used, or we can use mudu. 2 mudu equals to 1 sa'a. If you cannot get that, it is encouraged that we use tin milk, that's small tin milk, 8.5 of it is like 1 sa'a. So when we use that, it is sufficient already. In United Arab Emirates and in Malaysia, what they use is majorly they use money. That's what they use majorly in this country, because it is very difficult to find people to give alms to on the streets. So they collect money from people and then they buy those items and distribute to the needy.
Governor of Osho State, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has summoned an emergency meeting of the State Security Council to review ongoing operation designed to checkmate criminal activities in the state. Ahead of the meeting slated for this week, the governor ordered regular patrols by a combined team of security personnel to stem recent upsurge in robberies and kidnappings and reinforce the successes currently being recorded by security agencies. He commended the security agents for recent successes in curtailing some crime in the state. He charged the security agencies to redouble their efforts to stop the activities of men of the underworld. Osho State Government has inaugurated Interministerial Committee on the year 2023 National Population and Housing Census with a vow to ensuring accurate compilation of facts and figures in the forthcoming headcount exercise. Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Teslim Igbalayi, performed the inauguration in the ESCO Lounge, Governor's Office. He stated that all the relevant agencies will be fully involved in the planning and execution of the population census in the state to ensure its success. Honorable Igbalayi, who noted that Osho State was underrepresented in the figures published for the 1991 population census, said the committee was put together to ensure that the facts and figures about Osho State are currently compiled during the National Population and Housing Census. Honorable Igbalayi therefore directed members of the committee to work out appropriate sensitization and mobilization strategies about the activities of the National Population and Housing Census exercise, organize advocacy and sensitization programs for local government functionaries, the media, NGOs on population and related issues. Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, IBDEC, will hold a town hall meeting at Olarinke Civic Center, Kilometer 4, Ajiwale Estate, opposite Omidiyana Garden, Ikere Road, Oshobo, tomorrow morning. According to the release, the company will also hold another town hall meeting in Indonesia on Thursday at Ayene Foundation Hotel and Event Center in the morning. The IBDEC management indicated that the focus of the town hall meeting is to examine the dangers of illicit meter and energy theft. A release from IBDEC thereby called on the general public to come and meet its representative to get answers to their complaints, especially on payment for energy. Nigeria under-20 girls national team, the Falconers, have been drawn against Niger Republic, Togo, and Burkina Faso in the Wafu B Cup of Nations, which will run from May 20 to June 4 this year in Kumasi, Ghana. The draw for the maiden edition of Wafu B under-20 Girls Championship was held at Wafu B headquarters in Abidjan Cote d'Ivoire would host Ghana paired in Group A alongside Benin Republic and Cote d'Ivoire. Fighting between the army and paramilitaries in Sudan have killed around 200 people and wounded 1,800, damaging hospitals and hampering aid after 3 days of urban warfare. A week-long power struggle exploded into deadly violence between the forces of the two generals who seized power in a 2021 coup. Sudan Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and his deputy Mohammed Ahmad al-Daglo, who commands the paramilitary rapid support forces. That ends the evening news. Please join us at 7 for the major report. Good evening.